Well, hello. Welcome to another Branson Spotlight with one of my favorite people, my friend Donna here, all the way here to talk about
the Southern Missouri Arts Connection.
Southern Missouri Arts Connection. Where's
Correct.
that located?
That is right here in Branson, Missouri.
Southern Missouri, yeah.
Southern Missouri.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a funny joke.
Where do you mean, where is it? Yeah. It's in the name.
So tell me what it is.
Southern Missouri Arts Connection is a newly formed nonprofit organization. And the whole reason I formed it is I realized that there's a need in this town for an arts center.
Yeah.
And you don't get grants and you don't get big donations if you don't have a 501c3 tax-exempt status and a nonprofit organization to raise those funds. And couldn't find one that I could go under that already existed. So decided, guess what? It's time to start from scratch. And so I'm learning a lot as I go, but I've applied for the 501c3 status and had a fundraising campaign for that.
That's cool.
Had to raise $850. Hello.
Oh, to do the...
Hello.
To apply?
Just for the application fee, yeah. So people were really great and contributed to that and got that in the mail, and they did cancel the check, so IRS got my money, so it went through, and I did get a letter saying...
they'll be timely, so we're looking to have this within the next 10 years.
Yes, within the next, at least, hopefully, 10. So I've applied for that status, which you have to have if you want to apply for any significant grant money.
Right.
Next step is I've got my eye on the old Branson High School there at the corner of 6th and College.
Okay.
It has been vacant since 2008. Got hit by the tornado in 2012. I know, I heard it because I live right up the street from that. So, yeah.
I was out of town during that.
Well,
no, it wasn't good because I had a guy here at my house, and I live, as you know, we always point out landing is right there.
Yes.
In every interview, they like to look at the view of the landing. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. We can see the water fountain thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, when they do that. Every hour we get to watch it. But anyways, the tornado came through and actually hit right down here at the Candlestick.
Yes.
Which is not
that's
far.
Right. That is not far.
No, it's
I get
very,
turned
very
around when, Yeah,
it's very close, but the Candlestick is right there.
It's right there.
And I had a guy staying at the house, and he called me on a cruise ship, which is like $15 a minute or whatever.
Right.
And he didn't know what to do. He's like, I'm at the house. What should I do?
Oh, my gosh.
Whatever. So we had to put in a storm shelter and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm sorry. So you live
No, that's okay.
close to
I live close to this facility, and like when my now 15-year-old was in preschool, they had different programs that they held once they had moved everyone out of that building into the new, it's now called Cedar Ridge campus.
Right.
At the time it was Branson Elementary. But that was the old high school. It was elementary. It's been so many different things. There's a lot of history attached to it.
It was a prison for a while.
It all depends on how you look at
it. To some people.
To some people,
nice.
It may have been. I was silly enough to post on Facebook. It says, "What's on your mind?" And I actually shared it, which is very scary.
I get in trouble for doing
because
that.
This can be a very scary place to be. I tell some of my students, you never want to go there. But I actually did share what I was thinking. It was on my birthday, and I said my birthday wish would be that someone would show up with a disposable income and just give me a blank check saying, "Oh, I hear you'd like to turn that old school into an art center.
Wouldn't that be a
Here
nice
you go.
30th birthday gift?"
So I love you. Yes, 30th.
So you post this?
So I post this, and I get this ridiculous response, and I thought, oh, well, let's go for it.
Yeah, might as well.
And in the process, the mayor is having talks with those of us in the Lucia Ridge neighborhood about what should we do with that building. And I'm like, well, I have an idea, and I voiced that, and I see it. It would meet so many different needs within the community. Right now, there are entities already established that don't have a home. And so basically, Southern Missouri Arts Connection, nonprofit organization, our mission statement is to connect the arts and the community for the enrichment of all. So there's a stage in there. We don't have,
you would have that.
an accessible, affordable, good-sized stage for the community.
Right, for community event. I mean, we have a
community
lot of stages,
theater,
obviously,
but I mean, not really for the community, community theaters, the different organizations that, wow, if we just had like a 200, 500 seat theater that we could use, and the neat thing about it is we want to keep the gym intact and be able to add and take away chairs to accommodate whatever size event may be going on in there.
Stage like in the gym areas, the auditorium gyms?
It's what I refer to. I've performed in many of them. Gymnasitorium.
Yeah, I've
You go on tour, you never know where you're going to end up, and you walk in and go, okay, we will only be entering from stage left. So everybody in your mind,
see,
read
that
along
works
quick.
for you. But as a magician and trying to do the magic thing,
Oh,
sometimes you're in the middle of the
I was
room.
the magician's assistant on a cruise ship one time.
Really? What'd they do?
Yes,
What'd you do?
sub-trunk. I've done sub-trunk. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sub-trunk.
And on a ship, a sub is completely different. It's an underwater sub-trunk. That's cool.
Well, it was a little rocky sometimes, I must say. It was
Yeah,
interesting.
it was
But I've done the cruise ship thing too. So, but anywho, that was a fun experience.
The cruise ship was?
Well, especially, nobody else wanted to do it, and most singer chicks don't volunteer to do that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, because his assistant was delayed for some reason. He goes, I still have shows to do.
Right.
And so I said, hey, I'll do it. It was so much fun. I had a ball.
Now they like it. I get some of the dancers and stuff to be assistants in my show because then they can put on their resume that they were actress or they were assistant. You know, they can add it on, even though it's like for 20 minutes.
I don't think it's even on my resume, but it was just such a fun.
So full.
Oh, well, stop. But anyway, enough about me.
Okay.
More about me. No.
We'll do it. That's the hour-long show.
That's the hour-long show. So anyway, quickly. So now I have registered with the state. I am a nonprofit organization seeking 501c3 status. I have a board of directors.
Wow.
And our first youcaring.com campaign was quite successful. Like I said, I raised the $850 to go toward the application fee. Mm-hmm. And now we're raising $3,000 to have renderings made to help share the vision of what we see could potentially happen with that building.
Oh, as to how you're going to retask the building.
How we would retask that building. I do not officially have a lease with the city of Branson yet. We've just been talking about it.
Right.
So it's all still in very infant stages, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So evidently adults like picture books. So we need to put together a really slick, professional looking picture book to be able to share what we see could happen with that building. And it's, the potential of that building. And it wouldn't just be theatrical arts. It would be, of course, I've been in contact with some of the folks you've already interviewed here, a lot of the artists in town who would love to have a space to go. They may not have enough room in their home, but we're hoping to make that third floor, the top floor, where no walls were put in once they replaced the roof after the tornado. Because that building's been vacant since 2008, and the city did take down that two-story wing. So that part got
I've never been there, so
see how you're
new. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
high school
that guy. We can talk about that later.
7 years was enough.
I'll be here all week as you stay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they took the part that was damaged the most by the tornado. They did go ahead and tear that down.
Ripped it down.
That is gone, which affords us even more courtyard space. Potentially for sculptures. It's, the renderings that were already done for the 2012 study that the city had done, that I believe General Design, who we're working with now, did the exterior. It's so cool. It's so cool. But to have local artists be able to bring their sculptures to go in that courtyard, we want to keep the old oak tree. We want to keep there's a, I don't know if you call it a cornerstone or what, but there's a stone in there that has the original date of the original school in it. We want to keep those things it's actually in the sidewalk. So why it would be called a cornerstone, I don't know.
Okay.
But I can't think of the right word for it right now.
Sidewalk square.
Sounds good.
Yeah. It's very technical. You people wouldn't understand.
We are so technical. There's a lot of really fun ideas kicking around, but that top floor of that third floor, windows on both sides. There's no walls because when they put the roof back on or repaired the roof, replaced the roof after the tornado, it's all open. Mm-hmm. So I'm wanting to do kind of a groovy New York loft kind of.
I was just going to say like a giant loft.
It would be called the Hub. Yeah. And because in the study it said there's no artistic hub in this town for artists to come together. And I'm like, well, guess what? That sounds like a great title.
It is.
Other things I would love to do is there's a boiler room, and it's very sketty. But once the boilers are removed, I'd like to have that called, guess what? The boiler room. I'm so ingenious. But have that be a cool coffee house, open mic, young artist hang, have up and coming artist art hanging on the walls. We would also have a gallery for local artists and also whatever is coming through town. If I can get on that, I've already spoken with Missouri Arts Council on how do I, get in on those installs. If there's something touring, I would love to bring the greats to the kids of Branson and to adults too. But I've had the pleasure of working on a cruise ship. I've gone to the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, Russia. I've been there, done that scene.
I went there for college. I was in college. I went to college there.
You did?
St. Petersburg. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
So the Hermitage was where we.
With all the little old ladies that sit there in the white gloves, and if you get too close, they start to stand up and they will smack your hand.
Yeah, because they say if you look at each piece of art for, I don't know, whatever this 30 seconds or something, it would take you years to get through the place.
And you can't touch it, because if you touch it, you can ruin it. And that's why those little old ladies, those little grandmas are there.
Security. Just the babushkas.
I tell you what, you don't want to mess with them.
No.
They strong. Anywho, so
they'll smush you like a June bug.
They'll smush you, and they're like a June bug. Oh, see how you tied that in.
Yeah.
So right now, the main thing we're doing is I want to show pictures of what that gallery and gift shop could look like, pictures of what that hub could look like. I mean, I want culinary arts.
I want people excited
horticulture.
About this
I want, it can, an after school program. Maybe we can finally birth a children's theater program here in this town. So many fun things that could be happening in that building.
Well, the whole art scene is really changing here.
It is.
Because I have to say, I think it's weird that we don't have a bigger artistic program or artistic base, because we have so many creative people that come here from around the entire world. I mean, we have entertainers from all around the world.
Right.
Yakov has his art and all that, but so many creative people. But you have to go to Eureka. We go down to Eureka and we look at the independent artists down there, and we're big here at the house. Inside we have all of the different artists that we support. We're big into supporting the small artists in my family. So, cool. But we chatted with Rock Bottom Studios, a little art studio here in town.
They're amazing.
Same type of conversation where there needs to be more of this in Branson, but the people have to support it.
Absolutely.
People have to get out and stuff. So maybe what they can do in a few minutes when you're done watching is comment down below the video. You can comment down here and tell us some things that you think she should include. And then you could,
feedback would be great.
Yeah, because that's what you need.
And the community, the Lucia Ridge neighborhood that I live in, and to a lot of people here,
your house or something? Because you're really pushing this community and how great.
No, it's just that's where the building is, and so that's why if you saw in the paper several months back that the old Branson High School could be the Lucia Ridge Cultural and Performing Arts Center.
Oh, they still print papers?
So they do.
No,
I know.
I think that's weird.
I know.
It's like when we get a phone book. I tell my daughter, she's like, "What is that thing?" I said, someone printed out the internet.
This just happened to me yesterday. I was convincing my daughter, if you just open the phone book, I promise it'll be quicker. She goes, "No, Mom, I'm going to look it up online."
It's not
and I'm
quicker.
like, okay. I found it quicker.
It is not.
We had a competition and I found it quicker. Sorry, I did.
Yeah, well, your daughter,
So she's a smart little whip.
She needs to get serious. No, but there are, really quick though, there are things that have changed like that.
Absolutely.
Like kids don't know what some of that is. Not to say that we're not kids.
Yeah.
But we realized the other day that my twins didn't know what a key was. Because they never need to use a key, because we use the clicker thing.
Oh, my stars.
And our house has all electronic locks here.
Oh, my stars.
So it's all keypads, or we can unlock
And the code is...
Yeah. It's your birthday, which is weird. Just the year, which happens to be... No, but on our phone we have it, so we can walk up and unlock our doors and stuff. So if we have people coming over... but yeah, so...
We used a rotary dial phone and play. I work with a local homeschool co-op. I teach creative drama too. Yeah. And we used a rotary dial phone in this one sketch we did, and they're like, oh, what is that? And I mean, they just thought that was the coolest thing, to actually dial a number. That's where dial comes from. It actually used to go around. They just thought it was the coolest thing.
You know what's weird about that? This is complete different, a little aside, but it's kind of what we do.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Yeah. But with the phone thing, when I got my new iPhone 6.
Ooh, fancy.
Apple, I'm talking about this. You have my website address. Anyways, we got it, and I bought this app that made your phone look like it was a rotary.
Oh, how fun.
And so I went to work, and I said I couldn't afford I got this is a vintage one. And I had somebody that really thought that's how you had to dial it.
That's hilarious.
But there are a lot of things that adults are used to that kids don't use.
So much.
But what I've learned is that we incorporate it into our new technology, and you don't think about it. For example, old cameras that they do the little... What happens when you take a picture on a phone?
It makes that sound.
It makes the noise, but there's no shutter like that. It doesn't work that way.
It just makes us feel better.
Yeah, and if you click the phone book, it looks like the little rotary phone on mine.
Oh, how fun.
But anyways, completely
But you're
different.
talking... No, but see, perfect segue. Because one of the other things that I really want to do, which I shared with the mayor when we were having our neighborhood talks, is...
Where was that
I would
again?
love to see... In Lucia Ridge. Yes, thank you.
It's
It's a nice little name, isn't it? I like it.
I go to St. Lucia.
Lucia. Lucia Little Theater. I mean, it just has a ring to it. I love it. So, anywho, and I'm not saying that's what we're calling it. It's just an idea. Don't
Maybe
panic.
they can suggest
names.
But
you can suggest names, yes. But one of the things I would like to do is bridge those generational gaps. Yeah. And sweet Virginia Engler showed up on my driveway with a check to support Southern Missouri Arts Connection. She was so excited to see this happening and has offered some of Peter's artwork for the museum or gallery once we get it up and going. So she's like, we'd love to see this happen. And she shared a story of one of Mr. Engler's I wanted to say cohort, but that wouldn't quite be right. But one of his contemporaries who had a seminar for, I think it was woodworking, and there were no young people there. And she said, "There's just a real gap there, and I would love to see that gap close." And folk art is one of the things I would love to see established there too, where you have the generation, the masters of, and I know it's not underwater basket weaving, sorry, but basket weaving and whittling. Well, anytime I say basket weaving, I always think of underwater basket weaving as one of the classes you take in college. Okay, don't tell me I'm that much older than you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know that joke about what are you taking, underwater basket weaving?
I have
never
no
heard that
clue
ever?
What you're talking about.
You've never heard that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I have no clue what you're speaking
Okay,
about.
I'm too much older
That's
than
not
you,
a real
I guess.
class.
No, it's not. It's a joke.
I see.
Bob.
Funny.
Okay,
funny.
Yeah, you're laughing on the inside, I can tell. So anyway.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Do a courtesy laugh. Come on. Just a little courtesy
We'll
laugh.
add it in. We'll have a little soundboard thing.
So anywho, but I would love to see the generational gap close as far as that's concerned, because you have the woodworking and you have the quilting and you have pottery and you have all of these
things people
local
expect
folk art that is significant to the Ozarks that I would love to see the younger generation learn. And I don't know, we seem to have lost the fine art of apprenticeship and mentoring, and I would love to see that come alive again within that building or whatever building we end up in. Like I said, it's a potential site, it's not a done deal.
Maybe potential classes for people and stuff.
But I mean, we would not only be reaching out to the children of the community. I mean, this would be all ages that would be able to use this facility. Yeah. So whether we build new or it does work out to where we can use this particular facility, which I would love to see happen. I would love to see that history remain intact.
There's just so much potential.
So much. I mean, so much. So if it has art at the end and, it stays within the rated GPG.
couple things.
World, you know what I'm saying, Yeah. But I mean, as far as culinary, like I said before, there's a wonderful kitchen there that we could have someone step up and sponsor outfitting the kitchen and be happy to send all sorts of publicity your way. Yeah. There'll be, you light up my life. We'll do a campaign. Maybe we'll have Debbie Boone come back to Branson and do my help me buy the lights that we need for the new theater.
All right.
And then I'll do a little, you lift me up when I need an elevator.
I have no idea what's happening right now.
See here, he asked a musical theater major to come be interviewed. What was he thinking?
I don't know. At this point, I'm trying to decide that myself.
You've seen me swing a fake June bug over my head.
That June bug was alive when you started with it.
Okay,
that was real to me.
I reeled you in, baby.
Well, real quick, what we're joking about is that you were in the show
Smoke on the Mountain.
The Hughes brother. No, what was it? You're not a brother.
I'm not.
No. No, it's Smoke on the Mountain.
Smoke on the Mountain.
I was a huge supporter of.
It's a great show. It's still a great. You did. You were wonderful, and you sent a lot of people our way, and we appreciate it. It's
Every
a
time
great
I had
show.
somebody in town, we would come there. That's my favorite. It was my favorite show in town.
It's a great show.
And we would go because
at the Little Opry Theater at the IMAX Entertainment Complex. Don't you all love me? Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we're trying to get them as a sponsor. I hope.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it would be, because we're going to have movie reviews and stuff of the movies that are there.
Oh, how cool!
So, yeah.
Well, the show it's still running. Sanders Family Christmas right now.
But it was different. It was different because the reason I liked it is kind of what you're saying. That I felt like it was a different style of show that we would get when I was living in New York or LA or something like that. It was like a play.
Well, it was an off-Broadway show.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it was.
Originally. I know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, is that it wasn't like a musical variety show like we have so many of here. But it made me feel like I was getting a little bit of culture in a weird way, even though it was...
I think it may be the only actual Samuel French book musical being done in town. Other than when the community,
very specific.
Other than when the community theater, which is fabulous, TLC, yay, getting ready to start up their season. But whenever they do the book. And then, of course, the high school, they'll do musicals and plays. But as far as something that is a regular running show, Sight and Sound isn't an actual Samuel French script that you purchase, But I mean, it's as close to that as you get other than Smoke on the Mountain and Santa's Family Christmas.
What was the other one that Heather was in?
Breaking Up is Hard to Do.
I love that.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
But
I was
I'm
trying
hoping
to help figure out a way to keep that going.
That was a wonderful show. Right. And, like
it was similar. It was a play with music, basically.
Well, a musical. That's what they call those.
I know, but I have issues with that. I'm really big into art, culture, acting. I love it. I've always been a big supporter. I did the theater stuff when I was in high school and all that.
So you're not an athletic supporter. You're an artistic supporter.
I am not in the slightest. No, I am the worst athletic supporter that you could possibly imagine. No, but honestly, I try to help out all these things because I want more of them and stuff. And so we would go up to Springfield, which, still it boggles my mind we don't have this stuff in Branson. More.
Ding. That's why I'm doing this.
That's why you're here. But to go all the way to Springfield to the theater up there and see, and they had what was the one with the little French guy that stole the bread? What's the name of that? Les Miserables.
Oh, Les Mis.
Yeah. And so friends of ours were in that show. We get invited up. A couple quick things. I didn't know that the seats in the balcony area, because we had to buy them late, were so tiny, and I'm a rather tall person.
Oh, no.
And so, and I didn't realize the show was so long. Okay? At intermission, I thought it was over, and I was leaving. And I didn't realize that a musical meant they were going to sing. And
you're kidding.
I did not.
Please tell me you're kidding.
I'm not big into musicals. And I honestly thought that they would have singing, okay? But I found it odd that they sang everything.
Okay, but here's the thing. Les Mis is a little bit of, it's not your typical musical. It's more of like an operetta or...
Yeah, because they were singing like silly little...
pretty much.
He's dead! Like this stuff. And I'm like, you could just say that.
Oh, my toe!
Yeah, exactly.
Anything that happens, they're going to sing about it. That is not, I mean...
It was great.
It's amazing.
But I was suffering.
Okay. That may have been, for your first time out, may have been a bit much. You may have needed to just ease into the world of musical and spontaneous song, which if you're around me very long, you'll find I just do that
apparently
on a daily basis, as you have witnessed here today.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me knows that, oh boy.
No, it's great. But your show that you were in was acting, or it was dialogue, let's say. Then you had
You'd have your testimonies, your witnessing time.
And the
but
audience
you felt
was
a part
the
of it. They were the congregation. So you felt a part of it, which I think is just the neat dynamic where we did get to break the fourth wall.
Do you remember? Because I saw it at least a dozen times.
At least.
You were there. I was always there.
You were always there.
Because you were in there, and I loved Dan.
Dan Embry.
Yeah, Dan was
fantastic at one time.
In that. And I'm sorry you guys had to get divorced after you left that show. I'm just assuming because
Dana, it's just a joke.
Yeah, or is it? But Liara was there, and my good friend Mary Ruth was there. Yeah,
our Broadway baby.
But do you remember the show? Because at the end, you guys are wrapping it up, and you're doing your number at the end, the guy jumped out.
You were at that show?
Yes.
Oh, my stars. He jumped. What, did he, jump over the first 2 rows?
He felt bad because no one was playing the piano.
Yes.
But no one was supposed to be playing the piano.
No one was supposed to be.
And he got up and climbed over the seats because he was in the middle of the...
Did he climb or jump?
Whatever.
I think this guy may have been like a hurdler in high school.
Proud that he was going to help you by being by accompanying you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were at that show.
I was at that show, and I laughed for a week.
Oh, my stars.
Because the look on your face as you were all looking at each other, and this guy was just... That was
epic. Shows. It was epic. And he just jumped up there and just went to town.
And he was very proud that he took a bow.
But he was good, too.
Well,
I mean, he was good.
I don't know about that, but he took a bow.
If I recall, Oh, that was funny.
That was great.
It was funny. And in a show like that, you have to be so careful because... I do my best not to go off script, but when the audience is right here, sometimes you just can't ignore what they just said. But we really do our best to stay on script, Thank you, Alan Bailey. But there are times when I was doing my Santa's Family Christmas monologue, and who makes the toys? And then I say, the elves. And I can't tell you how many times I heard Walmart or China. So
really?
Sometimes it just takes a little, eyebrow look, or one of the Vera looks. But sometimes you have to address things. That one, you just have to keep it on.
Yeah, well, that brings us back to your the hub. In that, no, seriously, because Branson is unique. I've performed all over. I mean, I did a show in Shanghai for months. I did different, and the audiences there are very accustomed to going to shows.
Right.
But here in Branson, people feel like you're their friend. You're their friend, and they have no problem shouting things out, talking to you, answering rhetorical questions. We've had people at our show, the showmen in our show, do a medley of top songs over the decades by boy bands, and we had a woman get up and get on stage and just start dancing with them. She thought it was a dance party. A week ago, a woman in the middle of a routine that I was doing, a welcoming thing where I'm doing all these jokes and setting up what's going to happen, she just walked up on stage and stood beside me. I recognized her, and she gave me a list of birthdays in her family and stuff.
Oh, my
But she just politely walked up the stairs and politely came up. We've had kids run on stage, but people feel like they're part of the experience, which is cool.
Well,
I think
especially
it's neat.
when you have a generation that's just grown up watching TV and movies, and I remember I'm going to tell on myself here a little bit, but I was in a cabaret. I had a cabaret act on the show on the cruise ship I worked on.
Oh, on the cruise ship.
And I was in the middle of the act, and later that night, the Friday night, the farewell show, and they'll have like a talent show for the folks. Well, these sweet little kids decided that they needed to practice while I was doing my show. So I'm in my special singing Colors of the Wind, and I see these kids just running back and forth right down in front of the stage. And this is one of the smaller ships that had a very intimate setting.
Right.
So after that song, I stopped and I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me while I share Theater Etiquette 101.
Yeah.
And I just very politely just shared. Now later on, I went to the talent show and I clapped for those kids like louder than anybody. But I just let them know that this is not television. This is not a movie. I can see you and I can hear you. And these fine folks are trying to hopefully enjoy what I'm doing. And it makes it really hard for them to stay.
People out. If they're on their phone, I go back and pick them up and I'll talk.
See, but you can get away with that. When you're up there sporting the sequins and the hair and all that, you know.
Wait a second. Sequins and hair? Oh, you.
Not me. Not you. Not that show. Yeah. Not that show you do. The other show you do.
Right.
So, but anyway, and that's part of what the Art Center would help do. Education.
Yes.
Education in the arts.
Like bring the culture and stuff here.
Exactly. And I mean, there are people here in Springfield, and forgive me for not remembering their names, but
Brian.
You've got two folks that were in Into the Woods on Broadway who are now working. I think they were in Kathy Rigby's Peter Pan. He was Hook. She was the mom.
Oh, he was Hook here? You're
talking
about
he was
here?
Hook here in Branson when Kathy Rigby brought Peter Pan.
Great.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was the first Hook. I don't know when they did it the second time, if he was...
What an unfortunate name to have growing up, Hook. Because you know what's going to end up happening.
You know what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, it's like his sister Crutches. It's just terrible.
What was that about staying on task that we discussed before the program?
It's like Indian names that you'd give kids. They always wait, the Indians, and see what the kid grows up to be like, and then they name them years later. Did you know that?
No!
Yeah, lots of times they'll have a playful name for them. This is old Indian culture.
Oh, okay.
And so then they're Running Bear, and I'm glad they didn't do that with me, because my Indian name would be Dribbles His Juice Box, because it was just always a mess, or Falls Off the Tricycle. But anyways,
what
I'm sorry.
Name. So. All my Native American friends just really enjoyed that.
Oh, thank you. We're here all week.
How's your steak? Okay, so...
Rare.
Like these interviews will be if we're not careful.
So those people from Springfield, you're saying we have very talented people.
Crazy talented. And Peggy Brennan Harbor, she was on MASH. She was on Broadway in the original cast of Grease. I mean, we have people locally that have these ridiculous resumes, and you'd never know it.
That's what I was saying.
And these are people that can pour into our community in a huge way. And I'm not saying the local talent, too, that maybe haven't been out and about, but they're just homegrown Branson folks. They're amazing.
Right.
There's just, like you said, it's an interestingly diverse, and there's some people that use that word to mean something else, but as far as talent and artistically speaking, it's a very diverse community.
And we're very lucky because we have people coming in now because of the popularity of Branson from all over.
All over.
At the show, we ask people who's here from, this far away, anybody from California, but there's people from all over here. So we could be a hub of entertainment for the entire country.
Right, and I taught at Premier Dance Academy, which is now owned by Elena Vadim, who were the Adage team when I was on the Showboat.
Right.
And so, you have so...
Wait, you worked at the Showboat?
Yes.
I honestly didn't know that.
With Mark and Dana Bradley.
No idea who that
I did
is.
the Christmas show. Oh. I was back in the old... Stepping Out cast.
Oh, okay. That was the year before I.
That was before you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, because they changed it.
They did.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be in that show, but little did we know when I posed for the billboard that my third child, Clara, was also in the picture.
Oh.
So I had to kind of back out of that one, unfortunately. I would have been a part of Showstoppers as well in the original cast of that. But wouldn't trade having Clara for anything. So
Really?
Oh, my stars.
Yeah.
If any of my three children is going to be the ham clown entertainer, it will be she.
Oh, that's like my twins. You haven't met them.
I haven't met them yet. I cannot wait.
No,
I
we're
can
going to have
imagine.
them on here eventually.
Oh, boy.
Because they love it. Because I have a boy and a girl. No, they're not identical. We talk about this all the time. People ask me here all the time.
My brother and sister were fraternal twins, so I get it.
Yeah, well, ours aren't fraternal. We call them, what's the other kind? Nocturnal, because they're up constantly. And I wanted to name our son...
You did not want a spit take on this show, did you?
I'm renting the equipment.
Good
I
thing.
wanted to name our son Gotham so that if he cried in the middle of the night, I could say, Rachel, Gotham needs you.
No.
Yeah, you're the person that Gotham needs.
No.
But seriously, they are my personality. Because off stage, I'm a whole different person.
Yes.
On stage, I got the funny hyper thing going.
Yeah.
And it's an act. As an entertainer, people don't understand that.
Right.
And off stage, I tend to keep to myself.
And people don't think that about me either. I'm such a people person, but once I'm home,
yeah, I like my time.
Exactly. I'm the same way. People don't realize I actually
very rarely
have downtime.
talk off camera or off stage.
Isn't that funny?
And everyone always thinks I'm upset.
Me too.
I know, isn't it annoying?
You're not allowed to be
quiet,
yeah. Even though in this day and age we're told be still, be still, and then we try to be, and people think something's wrong.
Yeah, we throw a lot of little shindigs for friends here at the house, and they come over and they say, "What's wrong with him? Is he in a bad mood?" And that's what I'm really like. Because if I was that personality from stage all the time, somebody would have killed me.
We'd explode or spontaneously combust.
Yeah, it would just be too much.
It would be too much.
But, so my twins, my point was that my daughter, Cassie, is very funny. And her line now is she'll do something just goofy, make a face, and she looks and goes, "I'm very funny." That's what she says. I'm very funny. And just walks away. Where my son just sits and looks at things, and he won't say anything the entire ride. Then when we get out of the car, he'll say, "Hey, Dad." And he'll tell me something profound. And it's very, like he noticed on the way there, but he waited until he could tell me one-to-one.
Oh, my stars.
So he's my off stage, she's my on stage. And hopefully they make it into the show someday. But...
Okay, so my youngest daughter on the couch one day said to me when I said, "Oh, Clara, you're just so funny." And she said, at a very young age, maybe a little older than your twins, but she said, "Mama, that's why I'm here, to make people laugh."
Yeah.
And I was like, and this is the same kid that says, "Mom, I like bananas in smoothies, but I don't like them in person."
Yeah.
I like
salsa.
I like salsa the dance, but I don't like to eat it. I mean, I have these written down, these little quotes that my kids have said.
Well, you're on my Facebook, so you see, I let them pick out their clothes when it's Daddy Day, and my son tends to wear a lot of tutus. Just because his sister, we have a giant closet full of them for her, because she likes princess dresses.
So if she gets them, why can't I?
Yeah, and he very much wants to be a prince. So the picture that is going on this week is everyone wrote to me, because I post pictures of my daughter and I both wearing princess outfits, having tea parties and stuff. That was very popular.
That one is adorable.
Yeah, it was. And so somebody said, "You never dress your son up as a prince." Oh. So we got him... a little crushed velvet suit and the frilly thing and the guitar, and he has a little mustache, and he is Prince. Oh. Not a prince. Prince. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As in Purple Rain.
Yeah, sometimes I take things very literal.
You know what's about Ryan? Now talk about connecting here.
Yeah,
so one of my favorite Prince quotes from a song is "Act your age, not your shoe size."
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites too. That's from Not Diamonds and Pearls. No, Diamonds and Pearls. Cream.
It's from Purple Rain.
The song Purple Rain?
The album isn't the album Purple Rain.
There's an album, Purple
my
Rain
best friend
movie.
Liz. Hi, Liz. And I mean, we could not listen to that
I'm
enough.
a huge Prince fan. And
Wait,
people
so you
don't
know that. See, and I'll use that, and people go, what?
Well,
just kind of like
earlier-
you did with the earlier reference to underwater basket weaving. Is usually the response I
which
get
I didn't
for.
take that. No, we had underwater watercolors, which was a very odd class to get involved in. It was very difficult. Underwater watercolors.
Yes.
So, yeah. In fact,
Super talent.
I had one of mine here to show you. But it's
Oh, drat.
yes. Yeah. I know my career went down the drain.
I get.
No, but Prince, earlier I talked to another entertainer in town, and we were talking about Dolly Parton's influence that kids now don't know, that she writes a lot of the songs that Leanne Rimes and all these people, she's quite a songwriter.
I Will Always Love You. Mm-hmm.
Prince does the same. Prince has a lot of songs like, I can't think of any right now.
Of course not.
Sinead O'Connor's big song, I Will Be There For You. Or,
I used
Nothing
to love
Compares to You. That was a Prince song, and Kiss.
Yes.
And all that stuff. And so.
Well, it's funny too, because when I work with a lot of young people, and when I say, back in my day, when MTV first came out, I remember I didn't have cable, but my neighbor did. So every day on the way to school, I'd go to her house and I'd get to see what were the first videos. Do you remember some of the very first videos that they had? Of course, it was Madonna.
The first song ever on MTV was, do you know? Video Killed the Radio Star.
Okay.
That was the first song.
And then Cheap Trick was on there, who I loved, and Madonna. And Adam Ant, Prince Charming. Oh, yeah. There's a Prince for you. Yeah. Adam Ant was on. I'm just trying to think of all the videos that I would have seen, like sitting there for a few minutes waiting.
So you need
for
to be
her
on the rambling show that I have, where we just start with a topic and see where it goes.
Oh, I love.
We have gone from the
Art Center, which is the true purpose of this. Yeah, but how fun! How fun!
Yeah.
I'm rambling. RANDLIN apostrophe.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
I'm a rambling man. Steve Martin.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember his Pharaoh song. And, this comes back around.
Okay.
Because I was telling some of the kids, because you work with kids.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm part-time.
Okay.
I'm a bouncer to daycare down the street. But I was telling some of the kids, because Steve Martin was coming around. These are older kids, high school kids.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about now. But Steve Martin came to town last year, and everyone, the area last year at Black Hills or whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
But he came to town not to do comedy, but to promote his banjo album, because he is multi-skilled, and he is an amazing banjo player. It's in his autobiography.
Have you seen the gospel song for atheists that he posted?
Yes.
Oh my golly, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
He's brilliant.
He is. And he is a
brilliant.
huge. I'm the master at full circle.
Okay.
Because Steve Martin is a huge supporter of the arts.
Okay.
He collects art. You can go on, and he has one of the largest art collections in the U.S. And it brings me back to the point we've been making, that so many of the entertainers, business owners, other people here in town are multi-talented. Steve Martin, known for comedy, also into art, banjo, music. Mm-hmm. And so many of our entertainers have these little secret talents and stuff.
Right.
And hopefully we get your center in St. Kitts, or what is it? St. Lucia.
Not Saint.
Oh, no Saints.
No Saints. Lucia Ridge. That's what it was called before it was ever called Branson, if I'm right on my history. Lucia Ridge was...
Now you're just showing off.
Yes, I know. Where,
So
but Lucia Ridge, that's just one of the names that's been thrown out there. Lucia Ridge Cultural Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, that's just where it is.
But that's because that's where it's located. And obviously, if we end up building new or acquiring a different building, I didn't want to just call it the Branson Arts Center, because I don't want it just to be for Branson. I want all the regional. I want it to be all the world. Yes,
can all join hands and sing.
See another song. See, you set me up.
This is a Steve Martin reference.
Bud, you set me.
You don't know what that is.
Which one?
When he was on SNL talking about what he wanted for Christmas.
I don't know if
I
saw.
All the children of the world to hold hands and sing in perfect harmony. If I could have two wishes, I would like all the children in the world. And he goes on, I would like all this money. I would like power. Well, let me have the power first. And we're not going to get the kids. Anyways, watch it. You YouTube it. It's
I'm
going
to have to YouTube that. That sounds like fun. Yeah, he's brilliant.
But the center itself would allow locals to showcase these multi-talents that they have and foster the kids and promote the arts and share with our tourist friends out there.
Absolutely. There's a trolley stop 1 block over where they could come up from downtown, enjoy the art gallery, enjoy the coffee shop. And I'm working
I know where
with...
you're talking about. I had no idea.
Okay, yeah. I'm working also too... I'm not sure exactly what the name of it is now, but Ozarks Adventures, bringing people in to facilitate classes on, and how fun.
Like
and I think they kind of already do this, but you come and you go have breakfast at one of the locals, Billy Gale's farmhouse, one of the local places, and then you come to the art center and you learn how to do glass blowing. And then you go see one of the very significantly local Bald Knobbers, Presleys, whatever, the show may be that's Shepherd of the Hills, that talks about the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And then you come back, or you might want lunch first. And then you come back and you learn whittling.
So it's an experience. It's a whole day.
A whole experience. But come for a week, come to Branson, stay at one of the mom and pop hotels, and be totally immersed in our culture. But learn how to do it. Like go to Silver Dollar City and see them do it, and then come to our art center and learn how to do it.
Yeah, there you go.
So, there's so many different facets. And I'm just the one that's getting the ball rolling.
Multifaceted.
There will be I'm not saying I am,
but... balls rolling, multifaceted.
We're going to get as many... it's going to take so many more people than me to make this thing happen, but I'm just getting the ball rolling.
Yeah. I think it's great. Well, what everyone can do is down in the comments section, if you're on YouTube, leave comments and you'll check them regularly.
I will be happy to.
And share the ideas and the thoughts and try to get the community involved. Maybe suggest some names and activities.
Any ideas,
anything at all. Anyone wanting to teach the underwater basket weaving or the water
You must
color.
Be scuba certified. I think mine has since lapsed.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No,
it's just like the reality show. I wanted to start off the showboat, So You Think You Can Swim. It went nowhere. It went nowhere. Dead in the water. So anyways, be sure to support this. We'll do updates as it happens.
Am I allowed to say the website? Oh, come on.
Do it.
Thank you. www.smack-art.org. That's www. smack-art.org, and it's Southern Missouri Arts Connection, hence SMAC.
Oh, I see.
Love art, where the arts give back.
SMACKHYPHEN. Wait, what is it? No, we'll put it at the bottom. You'll see it.
And we also have a Facebook page, Southern Missouri Arts Connection. But the big thing now is raising the $3,000 we need to get the renderings made to make the picture book.
Yeah.
That will hopefully sell the idea. No, I'm not going to say hopefully nothing. It will sell the idea.
Okay. Well, we'll put the little links down below here, right down in this area. Do you see it?
Right here.
We got go a little higher. I have to crop. So down here, and we'll put the links. Go on there. Show your support the arts.
Yes,
here
please.
In Branson, Missouri.
Yep.
I'm Christopher James.
I'm Donna Rastorfer.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.